and welcome to HOA Fight Club. I'm Raylene Schifano. I've been invited to a whistleblower summit. So before I do the whistleblower summit, I thought I would go over the questions that they asked and the answers that I gave. These questions were only supposed to have just a couple minutes in answers. So this will be kind of just a brief one, but I kind of want to go over why I believe that homeowners should be whistleblowers to their government. If we don't let the government know that these associations are being ran inappropriately, then we are allowing this to continue. Whistleblower laws usually only cover people that are actually in the government. So that's how they kind of make it so that we can't be whistleblowers. But if we're going to give the power of the municipality to these communities, then they should follow under government oversight and under the whistleblower laws. So what I would like to do is read the questions and then read what I put as my answers. So the first one was, what do you see being the main problems regarding HOAs? Well, my answer was the main problem I see is the professionals taking control of our communities and using the ignorance of the governing documents and the laws to control our communities. Homeowners do not understand the demands of being a member of a corporation and that they should be very involved. So you join a corporation when you buy into an HOA or a condo association. You are not really buying your home, you're not owning it outright. You are joining a corporation and you are agreeing that that corporation gets to control all of your stuff, all of your money, everything that you do, all of your actions, and that they can actually fine you into foreclosure. These communities have power of attorney over your homes, which we're going to go over in a little bit, but that gives them the ultimate power. Ultimate power leads to a lot of damages when you're dealing with people in these communities. So the biggest problem is that we're not involved as homeowners. We don't know what it takes to be involved in these communities and the demand it really, really takes. Um, the next question was, many have referred to HOAs as dictatorships. Do you think that is valid and why? Yes, if the board is above the governing documents and the laws, so it is not fair and equal. With no oversight or governance by our state officials, boards can violate the laws with no penalties, which enables them to become power hungry and, in essence, a dictatorship. Membership can be Members can become a target when they question the board, fined, and forced into foreclosure. That's a dictatorship when there's no judicial review or no due process offered. Due process is so important in these communities. You know, we need to have either the small claims courts be over fines and fees so that these communities do not take our homes for a $50 fine. With no due process and no judicial review of what the board is actually doing, they are a dictatorship. They can do whatever they want. If they feel like you're in violation, they can fine you. That doesn't mean they're right. It just means that they're in control. So in essence, it is a dictatorship. What do you feel are the dangers of living in an HOA? Homeowners in these communities do not understand a lien is already perfected on their homes, and the volunteer board has the power of attorney over their homes. With that power, they can foreclose with no due process in as little as 90 days. There is also no demand of transparency or penalties for not being transparent, which allows for fraud, mismanagement of association funds. We need oversight over the professionals. CAI, Community Associations Institute, should not be a monopoly over our communities and should not be creating laws that benefit their trades group, the professionals. CAI does not protect our communities, but lobbies for their own personal benefits. We need oversight over the uneducated volunteer boards to bring them into compliance when they are in violation. Without penalties, which could be financial or even just removal from the board, they are allowed to continue hurting our communities for their own personal gains. We shouldn't have to fight for one homeowner at a time. Nobody should be above the laws. There should always be governance and oversight. If a board member is violating the governing documents, we should be able to make a report to our Attorney General's office, and the Attorney General's office should be able to, if you don't want to penalize them with financial, fines like you do the homeowners, but you should be able to remove them from the board and not allow them to serve on any other nonprofit board because they're taking advantage of that nonprofit. Nonprofits are set up to be to protect our investments, not to allow people to run amok and do whatever they want to do when they feel like they need to do it. This is how our money is being stolen. I've got more than one that is being, money is missing. The board is, not held responsible. The attorney that's been over the property for 14 years is allowed to just keep on going and keep profiting. Attorneys that are profiting by putting us into foreclosure, by forcing us to our knees. An attorney that is doing foreclosure, they make thousands of dollars off that foreclosure, which they shouldn't be. A collections officer and an attorney, that gives them more incentive to foreclose and to penalize us than it does to bring us into compliance. These laws are not created right now to protect the homeowners. They're created to protect the those that are in charge, the board, the property manager, the attorney. That's who is protected. But we as homeowners have no protections. And you guys have to contact your legislators and your attorney general's offices and the secretaries of states and everybody you possibly can get to listen, and tell them you're a whistleblower. You're telling them that the government has given the power of the municipality to these communities, and they should be held responsible and under the same laws as our mayors, as our governors, that they have ultimate power. They have more power than the governor. They have more power than the mayor. If you get pulled over for a speeding ticket in your city, you can't the city cannot take your home in foreclosure, but your HOA can't. So how is that fair if there's no governance? If I'm a board member and I don't like you, all I do is target you. I force you to your knees by taking your property and by being unfair. So as a part of this whistleblower summit, I'll get the recordings of that and be able to share with everyone. But I wanted you guys all to have kind of an expounded opinion of why I feel that I have been a whistleblower for years. I did make a whistleblower complaint back in probably 2016, 2017 to the government of Washington State, and I was ignored. So because we can't be whistleblowers if these are not government communities. Well, they are the government. They are more powerful than the government, and we should be holding them responsible as a government. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next one.